Good evening everyone and welcome to League of Europe. This is Season 4, the beginning of Season 4, as we take in tonight's first pre-season race around China, the Shanghai International Circuit, a track of course which has seen the scene of many great moments in both real life and indeed in League of Europe as well. If you were unaware of who I am, you should know me by now. I'm part of the furniture for my third season here. Of course, I'm James Head, going to be taking you through all the pre-season races and indeed all the races for Division 1 once again as your lead commentator and indeed for Lobby 2 here tonight. I'm not alone in the commentary box, as you can tell by that introduction. Joining me in the commentary box, you might have seen him the last few races from Season 3, and it's ILRT Jekyll. Jekyll, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. If you're part of the furniture, I'm probably the money down the side of the sofa. I have been here for quite some time as well, so I suppose we're both settling in as good as we are. So, yeah, I'm excited to be back for this. Obviously, the first pre-season race of the season around China. In case, obviously, you guys don't know, we have got 3 pre-season races that are coming up. The first one, of course, being here around the Shanghai International. Second one is going to be around the Paul Ricard, around the French circuit, and the final one will be around Silverstone at Great Britain. So, but I mean, that's still another couple of weeks away. We've got to focus on this one. Of course, we've got quite a few new drivers as well, haven't we, James?
We have indeed, and it is fascinating, I think, to see, first and foremost, that we've got 3 champions of League of Europe in this lobby here tonight. We've got Gary, who won Division 2 last season, and well done in advance, Gary, on possibly winning the Division 1 title. Don't think he will, though. Montana, former champion, of course, from Season 2, dominant in that season. And then along came the Brit, that was Alphatrix. And Alphatrix, of course, dominated last season. Had Lewis to contend with in the final 2 races of the season, but he managed to get it in a very dramatic United States Grand Prix, which I won't forget because that was one of the first races that I think you were alongside me in the commentary box for. But Alphatrix...
It certainly was, yeah.
It certainly was, yeah. But Alphatrix, Montana, Gary, 3 champions here in League of Europe. We have got other drivers as well. You'll see all the QVR boys. You'll see NSX Yelt, who I'm under the impression is Jay Heldon. So he has changed his name since last season. But we do have a couple of new drivers as well, as Jay Cole has already said. Backy, we've got the return of XL Neo, which is going to be quite fascinating to find out how he is going to get on. LR Hypes from the Livid Racing team, Suko and ILRT Matty, all coming into Lobby 2 here tonight to race. It should be a fascinating race here in China. It should be a fascinating qualifying session as well. Right on cue, we go straight into qualifying, and don't blame us, by the way, if anybody is wanting a perfect stream here tonight, don't blame us if it goes tits up, because honestly this game has been known for a few glitches and there hasn't been a patch release since its release, apart from the slight update. But don't blame us. Do not blame the commentators. Blame the game. Blame Codemasters. I think getting the excuses out early.
Yeah, they're an absolute nightmare, as per usual. But I suppose that's what we have to put up with when we're dealing with F1 in general. So, it is what it is. But I mean, yeah, we'll try our best to work through it. Of course, as I said, brand new game, so there's going to be a lot of glitches. Really, I'm just sort of trying to test a couple of stuff as well, just in case for a little bit of a tease in future streams as well. Just keeping something a little bit occupied on our side, but I mean, hopefully it all goes smoothly. Hopefully it all goes well. I hope the stream's okay. It looks at the moment it looks like it's perfectly fine, and fingers crossed, touch wood, everything that it will. iPad, but just trustfully next to me. I'm not going to have a look at the comment section through some other means. But 20 seconds already into the qualifying session, all 20 drivers here. It should be a fascinating night. Who's your money on, though, in this pre-season race? Who's your money on early to try and make a real impression in this first pre-season race? Because we've got Alphatrix, we've got Montana, we've got Gary as well, 3 defending champions, but we've also got the likes of Chapelelli and Neo who can put in a good performance. Montana being the first out on track. Who do you think's going to really impress here tonight? I'll tell you what, it's actually one driver that didn't actually do as well as I thought he would last season. I've raced him a few times on this game, and I know it's me racing him a few times, but he has shown immense pace, and it's actually the Spaniard of Doom. Like, he's been absolutely rapid throughout. I know it's the start of the game, everyone's still just trying to get to grips of the game, but I think he has picked it up a lot quicker than what I think the majority of this lobby will, and I feel like Doom could be in with a shot of actually winning this pre-season race.
Fascinating. Doom, who was quite inconsistent by his standards and by, from my perspective as well, he was certainly quite inconsistent, especially when it came to the rain. Hopefully he is better on this game on intermediate conditions. But, yeah, I think Doom could do quite well in this race. For me personally, I think in the pre-season race, it'll be fascinating to see how everyone qualifies. Because qualifying is one thing, the race is another, and we ride on board with Montana, the Racing Point man, going down towards turn number 14 out on track. 16 turns here, of course, around in China at the Shanghai International Circuit, and there is two DRS zones, one down the main straight, as Montana runs wide there, might have invalidated his lap, but he hasn't, and one down the start-finish straight. But Montana is now going to start us on a lap. The Swiss man, the former champion in Season 2 of League of Europe, going to start us off here on a lap in Lobby 2 for the pre-season race 1. And Montana now running uphill onto a camber through turn 1, then quickly through turn 2, quickly through the gears as well, down to a very high second gear, try and control the car through there. Now down the hill towards turn 3, and then through turn 4. The King here, really big snap of oversteer there for Montana. Looking good so far. What's his first sector like? 23.7 through the first sector. Very quick. The hairpin of turn 6 before this very flat left-hander I should say, through turn 7. Montana currently looking good. We've got the other guys, of course, out on track. We'll go to him in just a second. But Montana on a lap. He's halfway through the lap pretty much. Now through the middle sector. Through turns 9 and 10. The double left-hander can catch quite a few people out as we come through towards turn 11 at the end of the middle sector. And it's a 50.5 through the middle sector. So you can already see that these times are going to be quicker than the last game. It's a purple middle sector, of course, as well by Montana, with it being his first lap. As now the Swiss man really comes off the camber of the corner. You could get sent off into Nani. You might see a few in qualifying do that, but down towards turn 14 now, down this long near kilometre straight at the Shanghai International Circuit. He now comes down into the braking zone just off the 100 metre board, pretty much on the 100 metre board to try and get the car in, turning it in very nicely. It's a low fuel run here for Montana as he now comes up the hill slightly through turn 16. This is the final corner out on track, looking very good, very, very wayward on the exit of the curb, but it's a 29.5, and I tell you what, that could be a lap time to beat already.
Yeah, it certainly can be. And one thing to note as well on this new game, so it will give you 3 different options of compounds that you want to use. So either the harder tyre, the balanced tyre, or the softer tyre. Now, with the harder tyre, usually you would get given a set of hards, a medium, one set of hards, 1 set of mediums, and 2 sets of softs in qualifying. But on this game, it only gives you 3 sets of softs and a medium for harder tyres. So I'm expecting a lot of people, I mean, you can already see loads of people out on their set of softs as well. I'm seeing a lot of people that might potentially try and go for a 2-stop, maybe try and 1-stop it soft to hard, because I think that is doable in this game, but I think it's a lot easier than it was on F1 2019. But, I mean, it's definitely going to be a few strategies that are going to be going on. I wonder if anyone will opt to try and qualify on the set of the mediums, though.
Yeah, just flicking through, I'm just seeing if there's anybody on a set of mediums. It doesn't look like there is. And Gary, in the meantime, the Irishman, just coming down through the hairpin at turn 15. Spine goes quickest with a 29.5. Apologies if you haven't seen that, by the way. It hasn't popped up on my screen, so I'm having to use the timing screens on the left-hand side. Gary across the line goes 4th, just in behind RRT Matty. So good lap there by the Irishman. But currently, it's now Neo out on top by a good 0.6 of a second. The McLaren man coming out on top, and the German already showing good pace here tonight.
Yeah, he certainly is, and I was just about to go on board with Heights because I think he was just about to start his set of laps, but I think he may have invalidated his laps. As I can see Chapelele, he's the only one that's actually out on the moment on a set of mediums.
He just came out the pit lane as well, so this is quite a bold strategy, I think, from Chapelele. Maybe trying to do a race run on those tyres, see how they go, and then possibly pit in again and go on a set of softs towards the end of the session. That's my thinking.
Could be. Definitely a potential. I mean, we'll see how how he fares on with it. I mean, it could very well be a very good strategy. I think Larkin's also looking to do the same thing. I think he's going to just do 1 lap on a set of the mediums and then try and see what he can gauge from there. Maybe try and start outside top 10, go for like a bit of a reverse strategy, or maybe try going like on a bit of a harder tyre outside the top 10 just to try and bump his way up through a few positions. A few guys have already done their laps, and a few other guys are on an out lap or back into the pits. I'm going to be interested to see, because it's one of the new guys as well that's joined, is Drop J, as he's coming his way across the line now.
Yeah, Droppier just starting off on a lap. I think he was an ex-Division 2 driver, if I'm not mistaken. Part of the QVR Academy, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So Droppier now coming through turn 3, down the hill, very hard on the braking zone. You can see him running no ABS at all, which is good to see. Of course, I'm not going to draw any comparisons to anybody running ABS and no ABS, because I know there's a massive argument going on within the F1 community, and I'm not going to get involved in that. Droppier now through turn 6, and then through the left-hander here at turn 7. Looking very good in this Haas, and I will shut up for a minute as he comes through the middle sector so you can hear the engine sound of this Haas. You can hear the succinct gear changes there. Oh, and he spins it actually coming out of turn 10. Spins the car completely. Very nice running on board with, but that's unfortunately the wrong place, I think, for me to shut up on commentary, because he's just spun. Commentator's curse already. Count them up as we go along.
First one of the season, and I'm sure there's plenty more to come from.
We haven't even got 8 minutes through qualifying, and I've already commentator's cursed somebody. So you can see how this is going to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a good job of Drop J to actually avoid hitting the grass as well, so he's managed to hold that one relatively well.
Oh, Schiaparelli's just spun. Yeah, Schiaparelli, sorry to cut in there, Jekyll, but Schiaparelli's just spun through turn 10 as well. Very similar to Droppier. He actually hit the wall on the left-hand side. There's no damage to that car, but again, a very similar incident. So obviously that back end through turn 10 looking quite unstable.
Yeah, and I think this is probably where a lot of drivers are going to end up struggling, is through that turn 10. So, going to be a bit interesting to see if anyone else is going to, well, may potentially have a little bit of a spin through it. I was just on board with Toxic as I saw he was just going through there on his out lap. I think he's just sort of coasting it quite nice and easy for now. But I assume we're probably going to see Schiaparelli go on for another lap as such, because, I mean, on a set of mediums as well, I mean, you could probably go for more than just a one lap on those sets of mediums. So
yep,
let's see. Maybe not. Straight into the pits.
Straight into the pits. I'm not surprised, to be honest. He would have worn tyres, so he's probably just going to go for a fresh set and probably try and set a good lap. Cohen is coming through the final corner, just starting off on a lap. But I'm going to ride on board with the man of the moment, the defending champion who was just starting off on a lap. It's Alphatrix, the Brit, now coming up through the hill, through turn 1. Very off-camber corner, very tight to the apex though. Look at how he's taken that. Beautiful through there. Through turn. Moving, I think, further up the field. Not sure who that might have been, but I'll come on to that in just a second. But Alphatrix now running through the kink of turn 5. 24 flat through the first sector. Alphatrix not looking too quick at this stage in this session so far. 31.1, he's 400ths up, but I'm sure he can definitely improve in these middle and final sectors. As long as he doesn't lose the car, very close to the apex there through turns 7 and 8, through the chicane, and then down into the double left-hander of turns 9 and 10. Flattest part of the track this at the Shanghai International Circuit. Alphatrix very wide through turn 10, but that is how you take it. And Alphatrix actually through the middle sector to 51.1. He's 6 thousandths down, and Alphatrix totally struggling on this lap currently. Might be the shadow of his self from last season. He's got a Ferrari to the right hand side of him. That's Doom just getting out the way. I think he's on an out lap, which he is. And now Alphatrix down the straight opens up that DRS on. You can reach about 200 mile an hour on the run down towards 100 meter board for the braking. Now down towards turn 14. You'll see the King through 15 as well. Just runs wide of the apex through there. There's a yellow flag just ahead. It looks like a McLaren possibly getting ready to start off on a lap. But Alphatrix now through the final corner. Let's see if he's going to improve on this time. He will improve. What's it going to be? To 31 flat, and it's 700ths improvement. Goodness me, he's well off the pace.
Yeah, he definitely is very much off the pace, which is surprising to see. I mean, you've got Dakar and Cohen who've gone faster than him on a set of the medium. Well, actually, Cohen's gone on a set of the mediums, but Dakar is currently on a lap on a set of the mediums, so I'm going to go on board with the Division 2 commentator from last season. He, of course, is, well, in fact, he's actually on a little bit of a slower lap than what he was on his set of softs, but it's still looking like a quick medium lap nonetheless.
Yeah, I'll go on board with Daka in just a second. I'm just running on board with Campbell as he comes through the final corner. He's run out of fuel, actually, at the end of this lap. So Campbell has run out of fuel. No, he's not. He's preparing for lap. He's just juked me there. Campbell now preparing up for lap. This will be his banker, and now he'll set up for lap. Yeah, 32.8. Still down through the final corner, so he will inevitably improve. Daka is 2/10 down through the final corner. He comes, the McLaren man. Let's see if he's going to improve on a set of the mediums. Nearly 500ths off is actually personal best. He goes now down to 7th because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Hypes has gone 3rd. So the LR man goes 5/10 behind Neo. Good lap. Montana is on a lap as well. The Swissman coming through the final corner. Let's see if he can improve above Hypes and above Spine as well. Montana across the line. That's more like it for Montana. 2.5 improvement, 29.2. We're seeing quite a few improvements, and we've still got 6 minutes to go in the session.
Yeah, and saying that, when you're saying about a bit more improvements, there was another improvement, and that was Neo going even faster than what he just did a minute ago. The only man in the set of the 28s, he's now done a 28.8. So maybe I was a bit wrong on my call. I think Neo is definitely one we need to keep our eye out on, especially, well, I mean, I think he took a little bit of a break from last season, and, well, he's now just shown what he can actually do, and why maybe that little break was might have done him a bit of good.
Yeah, I think the break has done him total amount of good, I think, and currently Neil 3/10 ahead of Spine and 4/10 ahead of his former Division 1 rival in Season 2, Montana. So that is how close it is going to be, I think, between these guys. It looks to me so far as if some of the guys are struggling maybe with track invalidations. We've got Chapelelli on a lap, the German just coming through the final couple of corners now. Let's see if he is going to complete a lap. No, he's not. He's straight into the pit lane. It's typical, and he's just invalidated actually coming into the pit lane.
I suppose it can happen. I'm just running on board with the new guy. I don't know how you pronounce his name properly, but I think is it Suko? Suko?
I don't know.
Something like that. But anyway, he's invalidated his lap. But one guy that hasn't is actually the Swiss's teammate of Montana. It's Yelt or Jelt again. Really bad at pronouncing names, so we're just going to go with Yelt. He was getting a bit of slipstream from Montana as he comes across the final corner now. A little bit wide out of the exit, but hasn't hindered him too much as he slots himself into P5 just up ahead of ILRT Matty.
That's a good lap though from Yelt. He looked like he actually corrected the car going into the final corner there. So I think he can inevitably improve at least a 10th, maybe 2/10 on that lap time. So possibly he'll be behind Montana by, I think, about a 10th of a second, given that he will go quicker. And I'm sure, we didn't catch the end of his lap there, but I'm sure he will improve on that lap. He should. Anyways, 4 minutes to go. Neo on top, Spine in second, Montana in third. Top 3, not really surprising, but what is surprising, though, is that we've got Gary down in 7th, above last season's champion Alphatrix currently, and by a good 1.1 seconds as well.
Not only that as well, Matty up ahead of Gary as well. I mean, he started to get a little bit feistier towards the end of the season last in Division 2, but I mean, now he's now can just show what he is made of pace-wise, and, well, ahead of last season's D2 champion. We'll see how he fares on when it comes to the actual race.
Massive thank you, by the way, to everyone that is tuning in to this Lobby 2 stream. 24 of you tuning in. There is a car just going around the final corner there. I think it was Verstappen coming across the line to start off on a lap. Jekyll, do you want to take through this one on Verstappen? He's on a set of the mediums.
Certainly can. So the new and I'd say more improved car of the Toro Rosso, the AlphaTauri, making his way around through turn 3, making his way up towards the first sector. Is he going to be a purple sector? Well, it says it's 23.8. I'm not too sure. It doesn't come up as a purple sector, so you might have to find a little bit of time. But in fact, I didn't even see he is on a set of the mediums, so he is going to be trying to go for a bit of a longer stint on his first set in the race. Of course, again, it is really just a pre-season race, but it's more just testing out people's pace and seeing how they fare on against. Probably, I'd say this is more of the Division 1 grid. We never know. I mean, at the moment, Alphatrix down in 10th, we never know. But anyway, Verstappen making his way around the small little chicane, coming up to now the long right-hander, making his way onto the longest straight, as they say on the calendar. I don't know if that's now been overtaken by one in Hanoi. I could be wrong. But now making his way up to the hairpin, braking at the 100-meter board. Verstappen, DRS is now wide open. Is he going to keep the apex for the hairpin? Does lock up ever so, well, not even ever so slightly. He locks up massively going into that one. Now making his way up to the final corner. A little bit of a lock up going through the final corner, but it looks like he's managed to get that stopped nicely as he makes his way up to the line. On the set of the mediums, he has gone and done a 130.3 and actually slotted in just behind Gary by 4 tenths as well. So pretty good time from him as Joom has gone and put himself up into P2.
Wow, Joom going, what, 2 tenths behind Neo pretty much out on track. So the Ferrari man going second, the Spaniard looking to try and improve ahead. 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go. Verstappen, by the way, quickest of the medium runners as well by a good 3 tenths of a second, because Dropier has just improved up to 10th position there as well on your timing screens. I'm not getting the fastest laps coming up, by the way, on the bottom of my screen, so it is going to be a bit pain, but I will try my best to see if there's any improvements going on. 1 minute and a half left. Neo on top, Joom second, Spine in third. Campbell, though, on a lap, 5 tenths down at this stage. But remember, this is that was his banker lap, so inevitably he's going to improve. Toxic, by the way, now quickest of the medium runners in 9th, 130.2. We're definitely seeing a difference in the strategies now at this stage in the session.
I think that might actually change there, James, as Alphatrix is making his way up to the line on the set of mediums. He slots himself up into P7
wow.
between Yelt and Matty at 129.7, the first one of the mediums to break in to the set of the 29. So I think he may have only just been doing a little bit of a banker. I think, as I was saying, a few people opting to maybe go for the medium set and go longer in their first stint, and a few guys maybe just trying to get up as high as they possibly can on the grid. I've just seen someone else improve, and I believe
Campbell.
It was Campbell.
30.5 for Campbell, yeah, going 2 tenths behind Verstappen, his former teammate actually from last season. So Campbell will be hoping to try and improve behind him, but it is very good to see this competitive grid. There's 1.1 seconds separating the top 9. It is an evaluation race, it is a pre-season race. These guys might not necessarily be setting their quickest lap, but I can tell you, Montana's just gone quickest of the first sector out of everyone. Really sliding the back end out of turn 6. Is there anybody on a lap ahead of him? Joom looks like he's done in the session. Neo was improving by 200. We'll try and stay with Montana. If you can try and ride on board with somebody else, it'll be fantastic.
Dakar coming up to the line. He's done about 29.9 and is actually just slotted in ahead of Gary. I think he's going to try and have a little bit of a few bragging rights in regards to that one. The other one that I was also just watching was Sokyu as he's making his way up towards the line now. This is for an actual time on the board for the man in the Alfa Romeo. He goes and does a 130.4 and puts himself into P13, just up ahead of Campbell.
Yeah, Cohen going 15th there as they come across the line. Chapelelli, Larkin all on laps. We have got Montana on a lap though. Matty's just improved up to P5. 29.4 by the Dane. Former GT Sport Tier 2 driver and Tier 2 commentator, in fact, actually, for GT Sport. Going 5th, but Montana coming around the final corner. Can he nick Neo off the line? Montana across the line, no improvement. Well, it is an improvement by 900, but that's just about it. Neo now around the final corner, improving. No! 28.916 was his time. Spine is a 10th up. Can he improve ahead of Joom? Possibly ahead of Neo. Round the final corner comes a Swissman. There's a racing point, flies across the line, but Spine improves up to 2nd. I think that was Yelt coming across the line in dramatic fashion for a 7th place with a 29.5, but Spine goes 2nd with a 28.9. Only 2 drivers into the 28, but Neo, it's as if he's never been away. He's on top, on pole position, in Lobby 2 in this first pre-season race. Great lap. As we now see the result from qualifying. Top 8 separated by 9/10 of a second. Neo on top from Spine in 2nd. Joom in 3rd with Montana in 4th. ILRT Matty in 5th with LR Hypes in 6th. NSX Yelt in 7th. Alphatrix, a defending champion, in 8th. Dakar in 9th with Gary filling out the top 10. Toxic in 11th. Verstappen in 12th. Suku in 13th. Larkin in 14th. Campbell in 15th. Cohen in 16th. Dropier, Baki 17th and 18th, Bullet Boy down in 19th, and Chapelelli down in 20th. And pretty much, actually, I think it's about an 11-9 split in terms of everyone going on a set of mediums. I wonder, those qualifying, all out of the top 10, were on a set of mediums. Are they going to do the same in the race?
Possibly. I'm expecting them to go out on a set of mediums for the beginning of the race. As I said, I think they want to try and go a bit longer in the first stint. Of course, obviously, with the other cars also looking to try and do the same thing. I think, Yeah, I assume that they're going to go on a set of the mediums. I think the softer tyre, as I said, it won't last too long in the first stint. And then when they get towards the end of the stint on the set of the hards, towards the end of the race, I think the guys that started on the mediums, that you'll see how much quicker they will be towards the end. But, I mean, I could be wrong. A few of them might end up opting to go on a set of the softs and mediums.
I dare not ask you for a top 3 prediction yet, by the way, because you got your qualifying prediction wrong. Only by turn away we go. And Neo gets on top but Spine down the inside. Not expecting the start to be, I thought it was going to be a formation that. Neo and Spine fighting each other through turn 3. Looks like everyone is through clean. Droppier, I think, has dropped down a couple of positions. Backy as well. But Neo out on top. Yelta's round in the background. Just saw that. A little bit of contact with another driver. But Neo out on top, coming through the end of the first sector. Spine in second. Doom in third. Matty in fourth. Diving it down the inside there of Montana. Montana now down the inside. Coming through turn 7. They've got to give each other a lot of respect. And Montana has that one back down the inside through turn 7. There's a Ferrari round in the background of Gary, the Division 2 champion from last season is round. Yelt as well was round earlier on in the race. Bullet Boy's been caught up in an instant further down the field, but Neo out on top early from Spine in second, Doom in third, Montana in fourth, and Matty filling out the top 5 positions. And my internet connection quality is not sufficient to broadcast gameplay, apparently. Fantastic.
Lovely, lovely stuff. I mean, at the moment, Larkin, he's already making his way up a few places as well. In fact, a few guys have opted to start on the hards, and Soku, who started down, I think he was in 14th or 15th, he's now made his way up to 12th, as Cohen has actually just managed to get past him on that DRS straight. Of course, the overtake option now being something that we can use on this game. It's not all about just the ERS. Well, I suppose a lot of it is now about the ERS, but, I mean, with everything that's going on, mainly using sort of just like the rich mix and overtake to try and get the best advantage as possible. Of course, when the DRS does get activated, after having all 3 of those on, it can be an absolute drag race down to the corner, as I've just seen Hypes and Matty having a little bit of a battle.
Yeah, Hypes diving it down the inside through turn 1. Looks like he had the speed down the straight, so Hypes through and he's up into 5th position on Matty. I think Toxic was getting quite close as well to Daka. Verstappen just in behind as well. But the end of lap 1, Neil leads, Spine second, Doom in third, Montana in 4th, Hypes in 5th. There's a Mercedes diving it down the inside. That's Larkin on Campbell, trying to make easy pickings of him. And job done for Larkin. He's through and he's up to 13th position. By the way, there is a tyre glitch that I've just noticed. Everyone on a set of hards is on 0 laps. That is wrong. They're all on 1 lap worth of tyres. That's a perfect glitch already.
Yeah, no, of course it is as well. And yeah, there you go. For me, it's just come up with the predictive pit stop strategy. So the guys on a set of the mediums are looking to go on a one-stop around sort of like lap 13 and lap 17. And it's actually predicting that guys on a set of the softs will have to two-stop it with 1 set of softs and 2 sets of mediums. But I don't expect that to happen. I'm expecting it for the majority of the guys to go and just do a one-stop on a set of softs.
Yeah, there it is, just coming up on your screen. So that's what J. Cole has just said. Matty now down the inside of Hypes, trying to get the move done. Trying to think about it around the outside. Surely not. Toxic, very late on the brakes in the meantime. Diving it down the inside, gets the move done on Daka, the commentator of last season. Now on to 9th position. Toxic now up to 8th position as a result of that. Matty all over the back of Hypes though, running down the straight. Can he get the move done down towards turn 1? I don't think he can. There's a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. It's Bullet Boy. Daka back down the inside. Verstappen trying to go all the way around the outside of him. Not really working it out. But the end of lap 2, onto lap 3 we go. Neo leading. Spine in second. Doom in third. Say what, Verstappen's trying to go all the way around the outside through turn 3. Surely not providing the impossible there. But Verstappen now getting the overtake button out, and he's going to get past, I think, Daka down the inside line. Verstappen is through. Overtake used to good effect, and he's up into 9th position. Good move.
Certainly is a little bit of a QVR rivalry going on between these 3, down from 9th through to 11th, and then Larkin just sort of following them all just behind. Daka, of course, missing out on last season as well. I think he's just being as sort of just mainly doing commentating, which was perfectly fine, and of course, you said getting commentator of the season for it as well. It's good to see him back in a car, and he was actually doing some pretty good defending against Verstappen on that one, and we'll see how he fares on in the rest of the race. Just Verstappen having a massive lock-up though, making his way onto the beginning of Sector 3.
Alphatrix is all over the back of Matty for 6th position. Surely this is going to be an overtake that Alphatrix can pull off. The defending champion against ILRT's newest man, and Alphatrix now trying to get the move done, but he's out of the slipstream, he's out of the toe. Hypes might just give him a little bit of toe. It could be 3 wide down towards turn 13. Here out on track, Alphatrix trying to go around the outside, and Matty, tell you what, if he can pull this off, it's a fantastic move already. Matty is having none of it. He's trying to go around the outside in defensive, and Alphatrix just says no thank you, shuts the door on him, and he's lost 2 positions as a result. ILRT Matty, a little bit of a aggressive move across, to be honest. Matty was trying to take the racing line through the corner, nothing he could do with the car inside. Alphatrix through, he's up to 6th, and Toxic makes hay of that mistake from Matty and that little bit of contact, and he's up to 7th. Good move.
Yeah, definitely a good move for Matty as well, getting that one sorted out for him. He had a bit of a good start, but I think, as I said, these soft tyres are now starting to wear off for these guys that started on them. Obviously, from the top 4 it doesn't, or top 5, it doesn't look as if they are, but Alphatrix right on the tail of Hypers, and you can see through Hypes as well. Just the ever so slight slide going through what's usually a flat out left-hander. I think he had to ease off just so he didn't avoid it spinning. Now coming through the double left-hander as Hypes just defending the inside from the remaining champion of Alphatrix. But whether he'll be able to keep it, I mean, with the RS overtaken Rich, I mean, Alphatrix has got a lot of ERS in store. To be fair, so does Hypes. He's in fact still got a full amount of ERS, but I mean, even before the DRS section, I think he's even going to get the move done.
Yeah, Toxic can make a 3 wide as well. He's in the toe of Alphatrix just in behind. We see Alphatrix go past, nearly coming across actually on Hypes, realises that Hypes is still there, but Alphatrix has got that move done, and Toxic down the inside trying to make pay of this move. Hypes just gives him and shuts the door on him, so Hypes stays in P6. Toxic still P7, but Alphatrix up to P5 as a result of that. There's a massive queue, by the way. Alphatrix now clear, pretty much can pull away from these guys. It's Hypes pretty much holding up. Toxic all the way down, really, to Chapelelli. All of this field is covered by about 5 seconds.
Yeah, it certainly is, and obviously other than the outlier of Bullet Boy, who's about a minute behind, I think he's just having a few spins on the first set of laps. I think he's starting to find his groove now as Yell is actually into the pits. I don't know if he's going to have any sort of wing change or anything like that, but Toxic, I've just seen, has just gotten immense traction out of turn 3 compared to what Hypes has.
Ooh.
And now both side by side, a little bit of contact between the pair of them. Toxic did leave him the room on the inside, but that is Toxic getting that move done on Hypes.
Yeah, just coming on board with that a little bit late. We saw Toxic up the inside there of Hypes, getting the move done. And he's up into P6. Hypes really struggling on that set of softs. I think Yeltas came in for a set of hards. Juma's picked up the first 3-second time penalty of the race. It's good to see race controllers working this time on the bottom of my screen, not opposed to the qualifying lap times, mind. Verstappen very close to the back of Hypes. I thought he was going to go into the back of him there. And Larkin is trying to get the move done as well on Cohen. So there's a bit of 5-car train pretty much from Hypes all the way down to Larkin. Mercedes sandwich for all of these guys in between, as now Verstappen pulls out the slipstream on Hypes. Can he get the move done? He'll have to use the overtake. He's got 6% of ERS left, and you can see Hypes just pulling away. Hypes using up that ERS to good effect. Can Verstappen dive it down late down the inside? The Dutchman on the Indian. Can he get the move done? Not quite. Neil, I think, is into the pits from the lead of the race. So Neil was in, and I think that might be Juman Montana coming in as well. Verstappen is through, and he's up into P7, and we see quite a few of the soft runners going on. Spine stays out though, and he was only 6 tenths behind Neo.
I think maybe trying to go for a little bit of an overcut from the Germans, so we'll see how Spine does fare on. I mean, it could play out to be an absolute master strategy. I mean, it will be a lap fresher, hards towards the end of the race, but sometimes that can make the difference, and obviously with it being a lap older on a set of softs as well, again, that could leave Neo, Montana and June all a very good opportunity.
Oh, Suko! Suko, goodness me, very late on the brakes there. Jesus! Campbell's through. Suko totally outbroke himself there and has lost Dakar position, and Droppier is trying to stay all the way around the outside through turn 7. Surely not. Brilliant move by Droppier. Can he get the move done? You know he can. Droppier is through, and he's up to 9th. Best move of the race so far. Takes balls and commitment there from Droppier, but he gets the move done. He's up to 9th. Brilliant move.
Very good move from Drop J as well, and to make his way up into P9, obviously I think he started on these set of hard tyres as well, so as James said, a little bit of a glitch where it just says the guys on the hards have done 0 laps other than the ones that have already hit, I think from Neo downwards. There's yellows in sector 3, however. I don't know who. I think that might have been Bullet
Boy
once again, unfortunately, as he makes his way into the pits.
Droppier very late on the brakes on Suku. Suku trying to get the move done as well on Campbell. Spiners into the pit from the lead of the race. We saw the pit strategy, the icon, the graphic come up on the right hand side. It was covered, however, by the spectator menu. So I do apologise about that. But the pit strategy, the pit window essentially was open last lap around. So we've just came off when the pit strategy was supposed to open. Don't trust the graphics on your screen, always trust it from about a lap or two before. That is when normally the peak times start to come for the tyres. Let's see where Spiner's going to come out though. It looks like he's came out actually behind Neil by 1.3 seconds, so it looks to me as if the undercut there has really worked. Schiaparelli and Bacchi, by the way, are side by side running down towards turn 6. Schiaparelli all the way around the outside here on Bacchi. Both of these not on fresh tyres, but they're on a set of hards. Both Red Bulls fighting. Schiaparelli through and he's up to P9. Brilliant stuff between the two Red Bulls.
Yeah, very good move for Schiaparelli indeed, getting that move done on the QVR man of Bacchi, and now he's going to try and catch up to one of the other lads in QVR of Dropje. Of course, him just sticking behind Soku, who went for that massive dive in towards turn 4 or turn 5. I'm not too sure exactly what corner it is, but it's definitely in the sector 1 where he went for an absolute immense dive on Dakar. Well, we'll see how he fares on with that. Larkin, by the way, I just want to say, he's moved up all the way up into P5, and I think he started down in around sort of P14.
Yeah.
Around that sort of margin. So he's done a very good job, and same with Cohen. Starting down in P16 and is now up into P4. Of course, it's not. This isn't for any points or anything like that. It literally is just as a pre-season race, evaluation kind of race. And so far, it's been some good entertainment.
It's been brilliant for an evaluation race. If this is the standard of driving we're going to see in Division 1 this season, I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to the 18 race calendar. Droppier trying to get the move done on Suku as he comes through turn 1, but the Paul having none of it, but Droppier is going to have some of it down the inside through turn 2. Can he get the move done, the Haasman? Yes, he can. Droppier, brilliant commitment again from the Dutchman. He's in the QVR Academy. He should be promoted to the main team. Brilliant move. He's up to 7th.
Yeah, very good move from Dropje to get that one done, and now he's got one of the other lads in QVR just up ahead of him, of Campbell. Both on a set of hard tyres as well. Well, we'll see how he fares on. I mean, Campbell, I must admit, had a very impressive season last time. So.
Yeah, Campbell, of course, winning in Monaco by a dominant 30 seconds in the end. Just the 30 seconds, but basically, if you want to watch Monaco last season, there was a massive train and Campbell got away 20 seconds and won the race. So yeah, I've just ruined it from everyone, but there you go. Only on lap 8 out of 28 as well. Alphatrix still leading from Toxic in second, Verstappen in third. These guys, by the way, all the way down to 10th, have not pitted yet. You can see that on your screen now. Bullet Boy has pitted twice. He's been lapped by quite a few. Locking on the back of Cohen, not looking close enough, not preserving, he's preserving actually his overtake button, as now Droppier is on the back of Campbell as well, just in behind. But Alphatrix now out in front. Seems to me, though, when he got into clear air, Alphatrix, and ILRT Matty obviously was just holding him up a little bit, he seems now to be really excelling, and he's beginning to pull away from Toxic while he does that as well.
Yeah, he certainly does, and of course, Alphatrix, well, he's trying to show why he was the winner of last season, doing a very good job out front, as you said, ahead of Toxic. I think Verstappen starting to catch up to the back of Toxic as well in that Williams, so Verstappen almost or sort of within that DRS range, only just, and hopefully he can try and use that to his advantage to try and bring himself closer to Toxic and get that move done on him.
Yeah, the Williams getting closed down here. There's yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. Guess who that is? It's Bullet Boy. That's all I can say. It's Bullet Boy, and he's still in 20th position. Still going on there. We still got all 20 guys running out on track. Nobody's disconnected. Nobody's left the session inadvertently, which is great to see. Yeah, Verstappen is catching to Toxic. The gap has stayed steady at 2.6 seconds. Just a little bit of a lock-up there from Verstappen in the AlphaTauri as he now comes through the cambered corners of turns 12 and 13. Pretty much 180 degrees through the hairpin, as you like to call it. Then on the run down towards turn 14, but it just within DRS zone, as that is a very rare thing to see. Montana picking up a 3-second time penalty out on track. I think that was down through turn 10, if I'm not mistaken. Just seeing him come through the hairpin now on the mini-map. Verstappen, though, on the back of Toxic. So much closer this time. 0.7 of a second. When are these guys going to blink? Medium strategy, I think, what? Just above halfway? Like 15, 16, I'm thinking?
Yeah, I mean, on the actual tyre graphic, it did say something about lap 13 to lap 17, so you could expect a few guys to maybe come in probably relatively soon as well, because as I said, the guys that are on a set of the hards now that started on a set of the softs, I mean, they've only gone and done them, been on the hards for a few laps now, and they seem to be catching up to the group that had started on a set of the hards. So the guys on the mediums may need to get a little bit of a move on if they want to have any chance of getting a decent result as well.
Yeah, just running on board with the 2 Red Bulls as well. These guys look like they're going to go for round 2 all of a sudden. The German of Schiaparelli against Baki. And Baki being one of our new drivers here in Division 1, as Bullet Boy has sped into the pit lane and has retired from the race in the pit lane. That shouldn't warrant a safety car. Droppier, however, is off. Not sure what has happened to Droppier. Looks like he's went straight on through turns 7 and 8. I wonder if he's got caught in the curb and ended up in the gravel. I think that's probably the liable thing. Baki, in the meantime, is on the back of Schiaparelli, and doesn't go for the move. But Droppier down to 12. I think he's got caught in that inside curb through turn 10.
Yeah, it did look like he went straight off as well. Yeah, it did look like he went straight off anyway, so he is now, well, down in the mix with the guys that had already picked for a set of the hards. Of course, Droppier started on a set of the hards, so not particularly the ideal position he wants to be in, but I guess it is what it is. Baki managing to get that move done on Schiaparelli, and as I also saw, ILRT Matty getting himself a 3-second time penalty as well. Someone else is now slowed down, I think. Oh, actually, no, that's just a ghost of
AI.
Bullet Boy. Yeah.
Larkin, right on the back of Cohen, coming through turn 1. Brit against the Dutchman. Kvyat against, well, the organisational team here in League of Europe. And I was going to say it at the start of my introduction, actually, but my co-commentator here has earned himself a promotion within League of Europe, and he's now the head of PC F1. What does that mean for us here on this YouTube channel for these guys who are viewing this race?
So, of course, with the new PC League in place, of course, anyone that is watching, if they're wanting to sign up for it, if they haven't already, you are more than welcome to do so. You can just DM myself on Discord or on Twitter, or DM the league's Twitter. It is in the description of this stream anyway. As I said, it's a brand new PC League on Fridays. The first we're having just one pre-season race as opposed to the PS4 side having 3. We were still deciding whether it will be between 2 tracks at the moment, but more information will come out on that a bit later. But yeah, it will be every Friday at 8 PM UK time, starting on the 7th of August at the first race in Australia. Make sure you guys are there to witness that one. I'll see if I can get a commentator for it. If not, I'm not too fussed with having to just jump on and do some comments for it until we find something a bit more solid into there.
Well, I'll put myself not forward because my PC is like aged. 11 years of age now is my PC. And trust me, as we see actually Toxic, Verstappen, Cohen and Larkin all come into the pits on a set of medium compound of size. So these guys now pitching in at the pretty much the start of the strategy here for the pits. Alphatrix now leads Campbell second, Suku in third. Neil, however, catching Baki. He's 1.3 seconds off, and in the immediate aftermath, Spine has got past Schiaparelli. I think that was down the straight, so Spine now clear of traffic. He's got Neil 1.5 seconds out in front for the net lead of this race. Doom as well has got past Droppier in all of that. But what does this mean for these guys going forward? Alphatrix is still out there. He's still on a set of medium compound of tyres. How long will you see him go until he has to pit? It surely has to be this lap around.
I was going to say, yeah, I think it might be this lap. I don't see him, well, I don't see it any other way unless he wants to try and get back involved in the pack.
Sorry to cut in there. Toxic, I think, has just dived it down the inside of Hypes. I'm not sure if Hypes actually might have just locked up on the medium compound of tyres. Something happened there anyways. Toxic up to 11th. Hypes down 2 positions, now behind Verstappen, as Droppier picks up a 3-second time penalty. Sorry, Jacob. Go on.
No, that's fine. No problem. I mean, as I was saying, like Alphatrix, as you said, he's got to be surely coming in this lap. If he doesn't, it'll be a bit of a surprise. Obviously, again, it's only a pre-season race, but we always want to see some very good racing action going on as he actually stays out, as Gary picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. But yeah, Alphatrix staying out, maybe just opting to go for a little bit of a, I don't know, want to have less worn hard tyres towards the end of the race. But I mean, he's doing a very good job out in front anyway. I think none of the hard tyre guys are catching up to him. It's just the other guys that have already made their pit stops might come out in the thick of things.
He feels, certainly, I think, in Alphatrix's point of view, as now we see the pit window was actually open for the set of mediums, lap 13 to 17, as you said earlier on. Just right on board with Doom. Droppier and Chapelelli. Droppier, is he going to have a go down the inside of his favourite turn 2? You bet he can. He gets the move done again. He seems to love turn 2, Droppier. Chapelelli just made a mistake through the camera at turn 2. Droppier down the inside. Never give a Haas room to manoeuvre. Droppier through and he's up into 8th position, but Chapelelli's having none of that. Very late on the brakes. Has he got the move done? He's overcooked it slightly. Droppier says thank you very much for that one. Chapelelli tried and failed to get back past. Droppier back through in the P8. Good battle this though. Very good battle this. As Toxic is round through the middle sector, so Toxic has spun somewhere through turn 7, I think that is. So, Toxic is round, and he's now down into P15 out on track. Alphatrix leading, and Alphatrix actually is pulling away from Campbell. Massive, massive pull away. Campbell's still yet to come into the pits, but Alphatrix is pulling away at about 8/10 a sector, and he's now into the pits. So this is Alphatrix's time to shine. He's into the pit lane. Neo through on Backy running down the straight, but Alphatrix in. One stop to the end. As my co-commentator has vanished. Alphatrix leading the way from Campbell in second. Suku in third, as now Alphatrix, of course, is into the pits. We'll watch his pit stop. Ontrus alternative, if he went on to another set of the mediums, of course, he would not be in this race for much longer because he'll get disqualified right at the end. As Chapelelli is out. He's retired into the pit lane. Chapelelli is retired. He's left the session. Not sure what has happened there with the German. Something off camera has happened. As we ride on board with Alphatrix, he comes out the pits actually behind Droppier, who's still yet to come into the pits. And Alphatrix in a net P4, currently out on track, which is quite remarkable. We are halfway through here in China. It's Campbell who leads, Suku second, Neo in third, net lead of the race. Neo leads, Spine second, Doom in third, if you are riding on board with the net lead battle currently out on track. But now, Alphatrix, the defending champion, closing in on his teammate Droppier. I don't think there's going to be too much hassle here for the Dutchman. The Brit is on the back, but Campbell currently leading the route. There is a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. That is, of course, for Chapelelli's car.
Yeah, I've just seen Campbell being the first one on a set of the hards to come in to the pits. It actually says he's now being on 14 lap old mediums.
Sorry to cut in again, but Hypes and Cohen having a right ding-dong coming through turns 1 and 2. He's trying to go all the way around the outside. Cohen now on the inside line through turn 3. He's on a set of hards. Hypes on a set of mediums, not giving this one up without a fight. And Larkin getting involved in the battle as well. Very close to contact. A little bit of contact actually was made, but they stay in position pretty much. Hypes stays P10. Cohen and P11.
Oh, Cohen went straight into the back of Hypes then, going through turn 5, and well, he's managed to just take that place, and Larkin's also managed to get that place on him as well. You could see the traction that Hypes got in comparison to Cohen, but I think Cohen just missed his braking point and just slammed straight into the back of Hypes.
He did. It's unfortunate, I think, for contact to be made in any form of motorsport. But Cohen now down into P10, up into P10. Larkin takes a free position, essentially, with Hypes now getting out of the way, down into P12. Arguably, you could say these guys were quicker. Alphatrix, though, was on the back of Doom, and these two are going to have a right ding-dong. This is for a net third position as we ride it back on board with Doom. And, in fact, Alphatrix just takes that position. Spine through on Backy as well, just in the foreground of shot. Alphatrix through and he's into a net P3rd, but more immediately he's up into P5 as Suku is in from the lead of the race, and Larkin gets the move done on Cohen, so he's taken 2 positions in 1 lap.
Certainly has, and a few guys now are starting to come in for a set of mediums, well, to go to the end of the race. I think a few of these guys now that are on the hards, I think a couple of them might even try and go on a set of the softs towards the end of the race if they haven't pit already, the ones that had started on the hards. Although looking at it, I think everyone that did start on the hards are already into the pit, already out of the pits and already had their pit stops done. I'll see if anyone has. No, everyone has made their pit stops. So everyone that has made their stops now, it's what it is, and we'll see how they fare on to the end of the race. A few guys set on a set of mediums, everybody else on a set of the hards, but Neo is the one that has managed to come out in the net lead and, well, is now actually in the lead of the race.
Yeah, 1.7 seconds ahead of Spine. That gap has really stayed consistent since they came out the pit lane. The gap has always been around the 1.5 to 1.8 mark, so Spine just hanging on to that latter of that. He's now 1.6 seconds off the back of Neo. Alphatrix, though, on much fresher tyres, is beginning already to put that gap down to 2.3 seconds. It was 2.7 at the start of the lap. Can he do the impossible and win? I think he could.
Certainly could. He has got the chance. I mean, he's only, what, 4 seconds just off the back of Neo, so there's that opportunity, and he's going to be catching up to Spine relatively quickly, especially with these two guys up ahead of Spine and Neo, you know, having a very good qualifying lap to start off with. I mean, someone as well that's looking a little bit racy is Verstappen behind Montana. Yeah,
Verstappen looking very racy. He was nearly on the back of him, actually coming through the hairpin as we rolled on board there. Hypes us into the pit lane from a set of mediums. Is he going to set of softs? Or is he going to speed this into the pit lane? No, he's into the pits. So let's see what Hypes is going to do. Verstappen really and Montana,
James.
Though.
Yeah. These two guys right next to each other. I think Verstappen was trying to look to go around the outside of turn 1 on Montana, but Montana keeping that covered from the Dutchman. And now Montana going very defensive on Verstappen, but I don't think... Yeah, Verstappen, no chance of him getting through. Montana does remain up in P5 for now, but I suspect when that next DRS zone comes about, I don't think there's going to be any playing between the pair of them.
Montana and Verstappen trying to replicate their Monaco battle back in the day. Alphatrix, by the way, do you know how I said it was 2.3 seconds? It's now 1.7. So Alphatrix is absolutely flying out on track. The gap is closing in. It's 3.3 seconds separating the top three out on track. And by God, if you weren't excited about the end of this race now, I think you should be, to be honest, because this is looking like we're going to have battles all the way down the field. Gary, obviously, with that little bit of a spin early on. Verstappen now 5/10 off Montana. Looks like I think he's just got enough room to manoeuvre with, and he is now out of that toe as Verstappen will try and close in, but I don't think he's close enough. Yeah, Montana out of the hairpin, just really getting that bit of buffer that we like to see between the drivers. Montana stays P5 for now, but lap 18 has just begun. Neo leads from Spine in second. Alphatrix is 1.5 seconds off the back of Spine, really beginning to fly out on track. Fastest lap of the race, by the way, has gone to Bullet Boy on a 1:32.8. Nobody has got close to that just yet, and I don't think nobody will. So Bullet Boy, even though he's DNF'd, has picked up the fastest lap of the race. Oh, Alphatrix is really closing out on Spine, though.
Yeah, he certainly is. I mean, just looking at the gap between them now, 3 seconds behind the leader of the race at the moment, and it's now, as you said, 1.2 seconds, now 1.1. Alphatrix is a man on a mission to catch up to Spine. Of course, it's one thing getting past Spine, but then it's also having to get past Neo to try and win the first pre-season race. Just touching back as well on Verstappen and Montana. Verstappen, I think he's just doing a little bit of ERS preserving at the moment. He's back up to 25% on ERS compared to Montana, who's actually now on less ERS than what Verstappen is. So maybe we could see a move take shape from the Dutchman as we're now making our way onto the long DRS straight. It just depends on who gets the better exit. It looks like Montana has got a much better exit than Verstappen has, though.
Yeah, 0.6 of a second, the gap running down the straight. Just rolled on board there with Baki, who completed the move on Daka, who now appears to be struggling on that set of hards. NSX Yelt has just been overtaken down into the braking zone of turn 11. Verstappen, very quick actually, down into the braking zone, but not close enough to try and get this move done. Neo out in front by 2 seconds, but look at Alphatrix, he's 4/10 off the back of Spine. Where on earth has he came from over this lap, the course of the last lap? Alphatrix could have a go down into turn 3, could even have a go down into turn 6 if he feels the need to, but I think he might wait for the DRS zone down in towards turn 12 and through turn 13 at the hairpin. Can Alphatrix get this move done? You can already see how fresh the tyres are. Apologies, by the way, if I'm right on board with him and there is a revving out glitch. That is nothing to do with me, that is to do with the game, as Alphatrix will wait for the DRS zone. But my God, how quick has he caught that? We weren't on board with him, thinking he's not going to gain like for another couple of laps. But Alphatrix now 4/10 off the back of Spine and potentially in line maybe to even win this thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's the winner for Division 1 for a reason as well. And as you said, now 2 attempts behind him. Spine has also catch up to back of Neo. I think Neo is starting to struggle on these set of hard tyres as well, but Moving on to these top three anyway, or moving on from those top three, shall I say. I did watch last lap of Soku getting past Matty down the DRS straight. Good battle between the pair of them. Matty now down into P12, again moving, well, from Division 2, of course, actual divisions haven't been set as of yet, which is what these pre-season races are for, but at the moment he is looking like a good, well, it looks like he could be solid in Division 1.
Verstappen trying to go around the outside into the hairpin. Alphatrix is through on Spine by the way for second, as he's not going to go around the outside of the final corner, is he, Verstappen? No, Montana shuts the door, wise to the fact, but now Verstappen, can he put Montana under pressure? Our former champion in Division 1 in Season 2, Verstappen is going to try and send it all the way around the outside. Has he got enough commitment? Is this going to be a drop-yay sort of move from Verstappen? He's all the way off the camber coming through turn 2 and 3, but not close enough, and Verstappen stays in behind Montana. I think he's just letting him know purely he's there. And Alphatrix is there on the back of Neo as well. It's 0.4 of a second, and it's a second separating the top three.
Like you said, this is where it's going to get a bit spicy, as I didn't actually realise that Spine and Alphatrix had swapped places. So Alphatrix, yeah, as you said, only 0.4 now behind the leader, and Spine, I mean, he was catching up to the back of Neo as well, so Neo is going to have a lot of defending to do against these two. We'll see how he fares on against them. Of course, we're coming up to the DRS straight as well. A little bit further behind, we have got a little battle emerging. Larkin is starting to catch up to those two that have been battling entirely as well.
Here he comes. Here's Alphatrix against Neo. It's like old versus new here in League of Europe, the pre-season race here in China, and Alphatrix is going to sail on by Neo running down the straight. I don't think Neo is going to have any sort of chance to get this move done. He doesn't. He backs off. Alphatrix is into the lead of the race, and this is why he's the Division 1 champion from last season for a reason. Verstappen, in the meantime, having a lunge down at Montana, and Montana, wise to the fact, I think that's cheeky from him, because he realises that the DRS zone is just around the next corner. He's let Verstappen through, but now Montana will use overtake mode to try and get past. This is it. This is Montana trying to get this move done. I mean, you can already see where this one might go. He's down on the inside line, forces Verstappen back out to the outside. Skillful driving by the Swiss man, and that's exactly what he wanted. Ordered on a plate. Montana back through, and he's up to P5. Brilliant, brilliant tactical driving there by the former champion.
Yeah, Montana, again, this is why he's shown that he was the champion for Season 2. Again, very good defensive manoeuvres on the Dutchman of Verstappen, and I don't think Verstappen is done with him yet, but like I was saying before, Larkin now only just a second behind these guys as well, so Larkin could come into the mix with all of this.
He's dragging Cohen and Toxic along with him, I'm tending to find as well. So these five, I think, could really spawn out into a battle for P5, and then could let the guys like Campbell and Suku get into play, which are not on 25-lap old mediums. How can you be on 25-lap old mediums when we're 21 laps through the race? Answers on a postcard for that one.
God knows, God knows. I suppose it's Codemasters for them, isn't it?
Verstappen looking a lot closer this time to Montana. It's 0.4 of a second. I think he's close enough to get this move done. He has to be. 0.3 of a second. Now 0.2 of a second as he comes in. And this is looking good for Verstappen. Down the straight, Montana cuts across to try and defend that inside line. A little bit cheeky from the Swiss man. Verstappen realises him, parks it on the inside of the apex. And again, more skillful driving shown by the Swiss man. Verstappen has to try and find a way through. He has to try and find a way through now, because Larkin is now caught up to these two. Verstappen and Montana. This is for 5th position out on track. The Swiss man against the Dutchman. The Dutchman going to have to be forced all the way around the outside. He's just ahead going through turn 1, and it looks like this time he looks like he's got the move done, and now he has. Verstappen is through, and he's up to P5, but at what cost? Because Larkin is running behind as well.
That was a good move by Verstappen. It was only a matter of time before he was actually going to manage to get that move done on Montana, of course. Montana on 15-lap old hards compared to Verstappen's 9-lap old hards, and like you're saying, Larkin now in that mix, along with Toxic and Cohen. Didn't realise that Toxic had managed to get past Cohen before, and well, yeah, it looks like we're going to have what's that, a 5-way battle for P5? Yep.
Unless Verstappen pulls away, it could be a 4-way battle for P6. Verstappen, I think, I'm under the impression he'll begin to pull away. Yeah, look at the time now, already 0.6 of a second. Fresher tyres really coming into play. Remember, these guys went for an overcut on the guys that pitted early on. The likes of Neil, the likes of Spine beginning to struggle with their tyres. It's bringing the guys who have overcutted, like Alphatrix, like Verstappen and like Larkin, into play. Larkin now on the back of Montana. This could be quite an interesting battle. The Brit really having a good race here. He's now on the back of a former champion. I never thought I'd see the day where where Larkin and Montana would be battling here in the Lobby 2 race for pre-season 1. Toxic and Cohen on the back of each other as well. Alpha Trix, by the way, 0.5 of a second ahead, but Neo is staying with him. I thought he would have pulled away by now, but Neo was staying with him.
Yeah, no, of course. I think really what's just keeping them is the DRS, just keeping them all together, and I mean he's doing a very good job of keeping up with the pair of them. I mean Spine still 5/10 behind Neo, 6/10 or now 7/10 behind Alpha Trix. I think Alpha Trix is now starting to get a bit of a charge, but I'm still keeping an eye on this battle between, well, from Verstappen, Montana, Larkin, Toxic and Cohen, and Campbell on a set of the mediums. I remember he is the one that started on a set of the hards. He's starting to catch up to this little group as well, so it could even be a 6-way battle coming up for P5, although as you were saying, I think Verstappen is almost out of that DRS from Montana. As I'm just looking, Montana is struggling immensely.
Or yellow flag in sector 2, Droppier is through, and that's through turn 8 that time. But right on board with Hypes, by the way, right on the back of NSX Yelt. I know this is for P15, but this gap has literally spawned out of absolutely nothing. Hypes on a fresher set of tyres. Yelt has been struggling for a while, obviously caught up in an early incident on lap 1. But Hype's now beginning to try and get Yelt. These two have had very poor races, I think, from their standards. They've been caught up in separate incidents. They've been caught up in a little bit of a strategy as well. But Hype's now on the back of Yelt, and this is for P15 out on track. This would be for the final point scoring position, and you can see where this one's going to go, because the Indian, I think, the LR man, is now through. Livid Racing's Hypes is now through on NSX's Yelt, and he's through and he's up into P15. Bit of a mouthful to say that one, but I got there in the end.
Yeah, no, he is doing a very good job of getting up and making his way through the field. And well, I mean, we'll see what Yelt is going to do against Hypes. Of course, as you said, he's just only 5/10 behind him, but Hypes on a set of the mediums compared to Yelt's set of hards. I mean, Yelt, I think, well, as we was just discussing this before, James, it being, is that Jay Heldon, I believe it is. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had a little bit of an up and down season last time out, and I think he's looking for a little bit of redemption compared to what he did from last season. So we'll see how he does fare on.
Oh my!
I mean, it could be in Division 1, it could be in Division 2. We never know at the moment.
Oh, Montana had a right moment coming out of turn 10. You might have saw that from Larkin's point of view as Jacob was just going on about NSX Yelt. Larkin, oh my god, Montana is really struggling on these hards, and Larkin just looks like he's going to make Montana look an absolute sitting duck down the straight. Toxic could get quite close as well. Montana and Toxic have had history in the past, but now Larkin just sailed on by Montana. He's trying to do it the hard way. Montana diving it from a mile back, trying to get the move done. Not going to pull that one off, my son. Larkin through and he's up to P6. Montana tries he must, I think, has now landed himself into a possible battle with Toxic and even Cohen in behind as well, as we see Montana now picking up the DRS once again on the back of Larkin at 25 out of 28. This has been an absolute great race. Pre-season cracker, I've got to say, here in China. It's been fantastic to watch. Alpha Trix still leading from Neil second, Spine in third. Remember, we are not done with tonight on the League of Europe channel. You can tune in for the lobbies. What lobbies on at 8 o'clock, as we see Toxic actually right around the outside of Montana. These two have had history in the past. I've commentated on these guys in the past before. Toxic around the outside, getting the superior traction. Now on the inside line, through turn 7. Can he get the move done? Montana trying to hang it around the outside. And for tyres that are wearing off, he makes it look pretty easy. Montana holds on to the position. Oh my god, yeah. What's coming up at 8 o'clock?
Well, just a little bit about that. Those two that are battling there. Toxic has actually just picked himself up a 3-second time penalty, but I think he just got a little bit too much on the curb, which just gave him that bit of understeer almost into the side of Montana, and I think he just had to back out. Otherwise, he was going straight into the racing point. But as you're saying, coming up at 8 o'clock as well, James, we have got 3 other no, sorry, is it 3 lobbies? Yes, 3 lobbies going on. So we've got the third lobby, which is was sort of around the Division 2 kind of.
It's getting quite dicey. Season. Toxic and Montana. Sorry to cut in again. Montana using his instinct once again. Toxic has got the move done, but for how long? Oh my god, that literally, we cannot take a break in this race. Honestly, Toxic through the P7. Montana now I think is going to struggle to get onto the back of Toxic, but look at the overtake mode. He's got 3% of ERS left. He's going to try and go around the outside through turn 1 on Toxic. Little bit of contact between them both. The Brit down the inside of the Swiss man, the former champion, made to look inferior, I think, there. He's trying to still get the move done through turn 3. Toxic and Montana leaving each other pretty much out on track. It's like, well, Bayern Munich against Dortmund, I think, is the best thing I can put out of my bag. But Larkin now pulling the way out in 6th position. Toxic surely has now got that move done for 7th. Brilliant move. Sorry again, J. Cole. Honestly, we can't catch a break.
We can't catch a break, not at all. And I was also just watching on board with Cohen as well. He was also trying to get down the inside of Montana, but because I think Montana was battling with Toxic, he just wanted to maybe just play with his food for a little bit longer. And I mean, it's looking like it could pay off here because he is right all over the back of Montana. So Montana on these older set of hards is struggling, and look at else who is just behind him. It is Campbell on a set of the mediums.
Yeah, Campbell is looking so much quicker, I think, than these guys. He's been held up at this point. I think the McLaren man? The medium man, as I'm going to call him, on that Renault. But here comes Cohen on the back of Montana. We take this from Campbell's point of view, but now we take it from Cohen's point of view. And he's not close enough in the end, as Toxic has a little bit of a half slide going through the hairpin there at turn 14. But now Montana has got to try and stay within that DRS zone. Cohen, at what cost is Montana's tyres going? Because Cohen now on the back of him, but not looking close enough, and Campbell not looking close enough either. Dakar and Hypes, by the way, having a good battle here for 14th position. Dakar, commentator of the season last season here in League of Europe, is down the inside. Hypes right around the outside. Oh, brilliant move by Hypes. Fresher tyres. Brilliant move. Round the outside on Dakar. He's just made him to look an absolute fool. Dakar down to 15th. I'm sorry, but Hypes has just pulled off a brilliant move. Fantastic stuff.
No, it was a very good move from Hypes as well.
On Gary.
On Dakar. And
three
yeah,
wide. It's
Gary
3 wide. Oh my god, Droppier trying to get double toe on Yelt and Gary. 3 wide going through turn 2. I've never seen that ever here in China. Yelt, Droppier. Oh, Yelt forcing Droppier off. Not happy, and Gary's been caught up in the incident. I think he's got right side end plate damage, if I'm not mistaken. Not really needed. Yes, it's a social race. Yes, it's a pre-season race. But come on, guys. You've got to be showing an example. If you want to stay in the division you're in currently, you've got to really make a good move, and Montana's just been overtaken by Cohen and Campbell.
Yeah, he just had a massive understeer moment, mounting the curb on the exit, coming onto the DRS straight, and that's allowed both of the Renaults to go straight through, but it doesn't allow Montana's done yet as he's trying to go down the inside. Oh my goodness
me, Montana trying to get the move done down the inside. I'm sorry, I don't think that was ever going to be pulled off. I'm sorry, no. But Campbell, P9, I think he was always going to have that move done. Montana getting racy. It's a social race. Yes, it's the final lap of the race as well. Montana now on the back of Campbell. Look at the closing speed. Is he going to go around the outside of turn 1? Surely not from the former champion. Can he go around the outside on Campbell? These two, of course, left it all on the line in Monaco last season where they fought, and Campbell pulled away eventually in clear air to win that one. Montana on the back. We are pretty much half a lap away from Alphatrix winning the race. Spine, by the way. I'm not sure what on earth has happened to Neo's tyres, but he's dropped 3.4 seconds off the back of Alphatrix. The last time I looked, it was 1.8 seconds. So Alphatrix really pulling out the gap. Neo is going to be second, Spine in third. These three, I think, have really dominated affairs. All the guys in behind have been battling for position, as Yelt and Droppier have another battle as well, running down towards turn number 6. Dropping down the inside on a set of mediums. Not quite. Yelt stays in position. Alphatrix now quarter of a lap away from winning this one, as we ride on board with him in broadcast cam, because we have got that revving glitch out. Verstappen is catching Joom quite a lot in the background of shot as well. This is going to be quite close. Don't know what to go on board with. Alphatrix is coming around the final corner. Verstappen down the inside on Joom. This is for P4. Can he get the move done? He can. Alphatrix across the line to win. Picks up a 3-second time penalty. Neo in second. Spine in third. My God, I want to try and provide you with the best action as possible. Verstappen is through and he's up to P4 out on track. Montana has left the session. Verstappen and Joom 4th and 5th. Larkin 6th in the end, but because of penalties, he's up to 5th. Cohen up to 6th. Toxic 7th. My God, I'm going to stop because all of these guys are changing position.
Just waiting until they all come across the line. But of course, Alpha Trix taking the win on that one. He's actually managed to jump himself up into P11 as Montana had, I think, one too many penalties and now ended up finishing in P12. Matty down in P13 with Hypes in 14th and Daka in 15th. And now it's just a battle for the final finishers, as Gary, I think, was the one that ended up just jumping Drop J at the end.
Yeah, gets P16, does Gary, ahead of Drop J. NSX Yelt, I think, dropped. Driver of the day, apparently, is Larkin. I think that's a reasonable candidate for Driver of the Day, to be honest. Larkin drove a very good race. The Mercedes man out on track, in the end finishing in P5 because of penalties. But it is that man again, started where he left off last season. Alpha Trix has taken race 1 of 3 pre-season races, and surely he might be the man to beat.
Yeah, for certain, he is definitely going to be one of the guys that is going to be difficult to beat in the future. And of course, being the current D1 champion, well, we'll see if anyone else is actually going to be able to challenge him. Of course, Lewis was the one that was challenging him last season. Unfortunately, not signing up again for it this season. But I mean, with the likes of Neo, Spine both looking very racy against Alpha Trix. Of course, Montana as well. I think just getting a little bit unlucky throughout the last stages of that race. Hopefully, a few new candidates as well. We'll keep our eye on it. But of course, our final finishings, you have got Alpha Trix that did take the win with this one, with Neo in P2, Spine in 3rd with Verstappen in 4th, Larkin in 5th with Cohen in 6th, Toxic in 7th with Doom in 8th, Campbell in 9th with Soku rounding out the top 10. The other pole of Baki in P11, Montana unfortunately disconnecting at the end, finishing in P12. As I said, Matty in P13, Hypes in 14th with Daka in 15th, Gary in 16th, Drop J, as I said, he managed to get the jump on him, finishing in P17 where he started, and then Jelt, Chapelele and Bullet Boy unfortunately not being able to finish the race.
Yeah, Yelt being classified a lap down, which I don't think he was. I think he disconnected on the same lap as everyone, so that might have been a little bit of a glitch there, certainly on my screen. But that is it here in China for tonight. Just going to have a look at the comment section, because I think we've probably gone absolutely mad with that one in China. I'll quickly check. I will have to end this stream quite abruptly, because I've got another commentary in like 10 minutes. So this is going to be quite thingy. Montana saying he had an error on the last lap, which might have been the same for Yelt as well, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Chucks N Wanko, can we say that name on the stream? He's saying, why is Alpha Trix's RPM lights constantly on? It's a revving out glitch on the game, so we do apologise about that. There's been no patch since the game first updated, or certainly for me, there hasn't been an update for the patch, but I'm sure, I think that it's going to come out on Tuesday. I've heard. I've been reliably informed that it's going to come out on Tuesday. Nightmare is finally over, says Montana, and G-Pad, this track is not on... Glad he's not on the... This track is not on the calendar. I think that's what he said with that. But that is it. Gary going for the Wooden Spoon Award, said Mayor Ryan. He didn't get it. It was Dropier, sadly, for the Wooden Spoon, as we like to say. But thank you so much for tuning in. I think there was 30-odd viewers at any one time on this stream, which is absolutely unheard of. This is just pre-season. We have got France and Britain to come as your next 2 pre-season races, which are going to be covered live by myself and J. Cole. But thank you so much for tuning in. I've been James Head. He's been J. Cole. Please take care of yourselves. And we will see you next week in France at the Circuit Paul Ricard. Goodbye.
See you later.